Okay, MMA people, we got us a great heavyweight bout ahead of us, March 27th. Now, personally, I, ooh, this is really hard for me to pick, but I have to rock with Stipe. I have to rock with Stipe on this one, man. I have to. Stipe beat him the first fight, and I don't think he definitely took damage in his last fight with Cormier. Definitely took damage, but I don't think he took any severe damage. I don't think he took any damage that, with this amount of time in between, wouldn't be plenty of time to recover from. That fight was August 15th of 2020, so we would be what, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So we're at 8 months. I think Stipe should be fine. I think he'll be fine. I don't think he'll be. He might have, very, very small lingering effects, in my opinion. I mean, we'll see, but predicting, I'm taking Stipe based on the fact that he won pretty much every exchange in their last fight. I think he's just a more technical fighter, and overall, I think he's better on the feet. I think he's better on the ground. And Stipe, Francis Ngannou does have that knockout power. Absolutely, Francis Ngannou definitely has the knockout power. I mean, let you guys know that. Look at this, round one, round one, round one, round one. So the last four of his fights accumulate to about, we got about a minute and 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So in total, his last four fights lasted about 4 minutes total, if you add them all up. And he's won them all by knockout. So the thing is, I would love to see the Francis and Derek Lewis rematch. I want to see that rematch. Say it's a boring fight, whatever. I don't care what anyone says as far as that being a boring fight. At that time, it is what it is. Uh, those same people would be clamoring to see them fight again. Look at what both of those guys have done since then. Obviously, Francis is on a winning streak, but so is Derek Lewis. So is Derek Lewis. Okay? And mind you, he won that fight against Francis Ngannou. And he lost to Daniel Cormier. But who's not going to lose to Daniel Cormier? Who's not going to lose to Daniel Cormier? I could say John Jones, but okay, whatever. Daniel Cormier, you know, come on, he can beat anybody. He lost to Junior Dos Santos. That was a good fight for the time that it lasted. Um, the Junior Dos Santos is no longer even in the UFC. So again, the two guys that he lost to are neither of them are even in the UFC, and one of them is arguably the greatest of all time, the greatest combat athlete of all time, arguably. Derek Lewis is a bad man. Look at his look, man. So pretty much of the heavyweights in the UFC since 2018, no nobody that's currently in the UFC has beaten Derek Lewis. But that's just if Derek Lewis's next fight, which again, who is he supposed to be fighting next? Um, there was a call out between Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn, I believe, in the last 24 hours or so. Let's say that fight goes through, and let's say Francis beats Stipe. That Derek Lewis rematch probably won't happen yet because then everybody's going to want to see Francis versus John Jones. So then we got a possible matchup between Derek Lewis and Stipe, which again, I would love to see that as well. The heavyweight division is in a great place right now. The problems that the heavyweight division has are great problems to have for a division. When you got big names with great talent and new blood, all all in the same. You got greatness, you got legacy, you got narrative, you got storyline, you got all these things, and you got great fights, you got great matchups, you got rematches. The heavyweight division is in a great place. If Stipe wins, I definitely see him fighting John Jones next. I definitely see Stipe fighting John Jones next if he wins. Obviously, that's what the UFC is saying, that John Jones will get the next title fight, which I'm very excited to see, but we already know anything could happen. If this fight just, materializes the wrong way for the results that we are particularly predicting to get. So if the fight just happens to be very close, a little bit of controversy, but Ngannou gets the decision or something like that, or he gets a knockout, you know, Stipe is going to want a rematch. He's going to deserve a rematch. He's going to eventually get a rematch if he loses. If he wins, hey, nothing left there between him and Ngannou. Even if it's a close fight, even if Stipe wins in a close fight, it's the second time that he beat him. So there's really not, you know, no a big reason to go back to that. Going towards John Jones is what I'm saying. Now, if Stipe comes in there and just gets cleaned up, nasty, how Ngannou's been winning these last few fights, then hey, you know, I don't know that he would even want an immediate rematch after that. He'd want some time to recover, I'm sure, you know. But, that's yet for us to see. If that does happen and Stipe gets cleaned up, obviously, John Jones is stepping in, and now we got the Stipe, or we got the John Jones, and then Ngannou. Stipe, considering the fact that I don't think he's ready to retire just yet, unless he does get cleaned up by Ngannou, maybe. But if he stays around, that Derek Lewis fight is, it's there. Whether Derek Lewis wins or loses his next fight, if Stipe loses, Stipe and Derek Lewis are a great fight to make. I still have Stipe winning, but actually, I don't know. Derek Lewis can knock out anybody. Man, I think Derek Lewis might knock him out in that fight just because Stipe loves to stand up, and Derek Lewis doesn't need to connect too many times to put him down. Obviously, if you have not noticed that, he has the most knockouts in heavyweight history in the UFC. So, whew, the main event, I got Stipe. I think Stipe is going to edge him out on the stand up. I think his wrestling technique is definitely superior to of that in Ngannou, and ground game. I'm giving to Stipe. I haven't even seen too much of Francis's game on the ground, if any. But uh, obviously, Stipe can get knocked out by Ngannou because Ngannou's another guy who can knock out anybody. But if I'm playing, if I'm looking at history and I'm looking at the odds and percentages, I'm riding with Stipe on this one. If he still has enough to beat Daniel Cormier, then I'm pretty sure he has enough to beat Ngannou. Yeah, we will see. Let me know what you guys think, though. I want to know what you guys think. Who has who? Why you guys picking this fighter? Don't just say, "Oh, this guy, this guy." Tell me why. Tell me why you're picking Ngannou, or tell me why you're picking Stipe. Because I personally, I like to hear that stuff. That's what this channel's about. MMA House on MMA Block, and we in the middle of MMA Ville. We keeps it real.